Ever tried to get an AI image to look, like real, not that weird plasticky look, not super surreal, but like actually believable? It's a lot harder than you'd think.
Yeah, it really is.
But imagine skipping that whole learning curve and making really amazing AI visuals, but like instantly almost.
Right.
Today we're diving deep into Adobe Firefly,
Great.
a new AI tool, and it's right inside Adobe Creative Cloud, which is interesting.
It is. We've got a ton of information here about it, and it's pretty exciting stuff. What we really want to do today is cut through all the hype and show you why. If you're even a little bit interested in creating visuals, this is a big deal.
Okay, so let's break it down. At its core, Firefly uses what's called generative AI.
Right?
And the big thing everyone's buzzing about is this whole text-to-image thing.
Oh, yeah.
You just type in, say, like, sunset over the mountains,
Mhm.
and boom, a detailed image pops up, like, super fast. And our sources really highlight how easy this actually is.
What gets me is it's not just throwing random pixels together. It actually feels like the AI understands the words and puts them together in a way that makes sense. Like the lighting's believable, the composition works. It's pretty impressive.
And it gets even cooler with this thing called generative fill. So think about this. You've got a photo and you want to add something like a bird in the sky. Or let's say take out something distracting.
Right.
You just highlight the area, describe what you want, and Firefly does it, blends it all in, matches the look and feel of the photo perfectly.
That's huge for editing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, think of how long those tasks used to take. Hours of meticulous work. And now it's like, boom, a text prompt and you're done. It just
Yeah.
opens up so many creative possibilities and saves so much time.
And hold on, it's not just for regular images. Firefly can also make vector graphics.
Okay.
The ones that you can scale up forever without getting all pixely.
Like logos, icons, that sort of thing.
Exactly. Imagine describing the icon you need and having it made for you, ready to go.
And the flexibility of AI-generated vectors is a game changer because they're not pixel-based, they're built on math. You can resize them however you want without losing any quality. That's incredibly powerful for design work.
They also have this really cool feature called generative recolor. Basically, you describe a color theme, let's say warm autumn tones,
Uh-huh.
and you can apply it to your vector graphics. It's crazy how fast you can try out different looks.
And that's the key, right? Iteration. Instead of spending ages fiddling with colors, you can experiment with a whole bunch of palettes instantly. Really speeds things up.
Now, if you're already using Adobe Photoshop or Illustrator, integrating Firefly seems like a no-brainer.
Oh, absolutely.
Our sources really emphasize how smoothly it all works within those apps. Like, you're already familiar with them, so getting up to speed with Firefly is super quick.
That tight integration is a big deal. You don't have to learn a whole new program. You just use Firefly right inside the tools you're already comfortable with.
So how do you actually get Firefly? Well, it's part of Adobe Creative Cloud, right? And they have this system of generative credits. Basically, you use up credits when you create content. Different subscription levels give you different amounts.
It makes sense, really. Those credits basically represent the computing power the AI needs to do its magic. It's how Adobe manages all that processing for all the generative stuff.
No, everyone's talking about other AI image generators. Like, one thing that really stood out about Firefly is its training data. The information we have really highlights this. Apparently, it's trained on Adobe stock images and openly licensed stuff, which seems like a big difference.
It's definitely worth noting, using that kind of training data gives you more confidence about where the images come from and what you can do with them, commercially speaking. It seems a lot more responsible somehow.
And it sounds like Adobe's not just sitting still. They're constantly rolling out new stuff. We've seen things like more control over photographic styles, even some cool collaborative features in Photoshop, all powered by AI. It's evolving super fast.
And that's key, right?
Yeah.
This AI stuff is changing so quickly. So the fact that Adobe's constantly updating Firefly means it'll just keep getting more powerful. It'll adapt to what users need.
The experts are impressed too.
Right.
Lots of praise for both the capabilities and how they're handling the whole training data thing.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to dig deeper or connect with other folks using Firefly, Adobe has a bunch of resources like their website and a Discord community.
Those are super helpful. You can get tips, see what other people are making, stay in the loop on what's new. It's a great way to learn.
So the big takeaway here is that Adobe Firefly looks like a seriously powerful and user-friendly AI tool, especially for image generation and manipulation. And if you're already using Adobe Creative Cloud, It just makes sense.
Yeah.
It's got this awesome set of features, and they're really focused on making it easy to use and doing AI responsibly. It's a really interesting package.
This deep dive really suggests that Firefly isn't just a fad. It feels like a real shift in how we create. It gives you these totally new ways to bring visual ideas to life, and it's incredibly fast and efficient.
It really gets you thinking, how will tools like this, like Adobe Firefly, change how we all create and share visual stuff? What can you do now that you couldn't even imagine before? Like and subscribe to AI-TLDR. Want to learn more? Check the link in the description.